Okay, we're good to go. Good morning. I'm Rafał from Dynamics Development Center, and today's session will be hosted by myself and my colleagues Łukasz and Jacob. Today we'll be talking about creating beautiful dashboards in Power BI. And as an introduction, I would like to tell you how this session came to be. So the other day when I was having a chat with our customer and Łukasz and the team, and I could see the reports and dashboards that our team prepared for the customer in Power BI, I had this epiphany that, oh wow, that looks great, looks amazing. What a great job. I think the world should know about it. So we figured that the best way to actually spread the word about what our team and Power BI is capable of doing in terms of creating visually compelling dashboards was to create this webinar, and here we are. So for the next around 45 minutes, Łukasz and our panelists will be showing you how to create visually compelling dashboards in Power BI that connect and are embedded in Dynamics and AV and Business Central. And before we get started, just some housekeeping rules. You have probably noticed that your microphones are muted, and it's going to stay this way throughout this webinar. Your chance to interact with us is either through chat or through Q&A function. You should find both those icons at the bottom of the screen. So during the webinar, we'll be collecting your questions. Some of them will be answered quickly. Some of them will be taken on by Łukasz at the end of webinar. So yeah, next slide. Just a few words about Łukasz, who is an experienced Business Central consultant with 5 years of experience, and also he's leading our small but growing Power BI team within Dynamics Development Center. So I think you are in for a treat, because I've already seen the slides and part of the demo. I think you're gonna immensely enjoy that as I did. So over to you, Łukasz, and good luck.
Thank you, Rafał. Thank you again. Hello everyone. Thank you for joining the meeting. As Rafał said, I'm Łukasz Grabowski. I'm 5 years experienced Dynamics Business Central consultant, and also, of course, Power BI consultant and developer. I've been managing or participating in several Dynamics NAV or Business Central projects or MSBI projects during the last 5 years. And here below, you might find some of my key projects across Europe, like Basecamp, YoSushi, or SOFA, or Bara Developments, and also projects located in Poland, like EEA, BG Production, or Hays. During these projects, we had many requests related directly to reporting needs, where we have been using Microsoft BI products like SSRS, Power Queries, Power Pivot, Power Map or Views, and also Excel add-ons like Jet Reports, which are directly correlated with the Microsoft Business Central solutions. And because of growing demand for not only enterprise resource planning systems like Business Central, but additional complex reporting tools, we as Dynamics DC, we are extending our offer to provide Power BI solutions and services, and to integrate it with our key product, which is Business Central, of course. And on today's webinar, we'll be discussing about beautiful dashboards in Power BI. And what exactly does it mean that dashboard is beautiful, and for whom these reports are target for? And that's the first point I would like to discuss. Then we will show you our solutions and advanced capabilities of Power BI features. And together we will build an additional page to the report from scratch. And I will show you tricks and tips and tricks, what you can use to make your report looks better. Then we will briefly discuss about our company, Dynamics Development Center. And of course, at the end, if you have any questions, we're going to have a Q&A session at the end. And what is else worth noticing, we will also like to provide you the demo from today's session so you can see yourself what Power BI is capable of. So you can play with it and let us know what are your thoughts about it. All right, so let's start with the first point, beautiful dashboards in Power BI. And when I was preparing this webinar, I asked myself, I want my dashboard look amazing. And this question is crucial because what does it mean that this dashboard is amazing? And shortly, I would like to discuss it. What will be discussed on our webinar, because the project of preparing the process of preparing Power BI report is quite huge, and we will only discuss the part of it. And in another slide, I will show you what exactly will be discussed. Then what exactly does that mean that reports looks amazing? We'll try to answer this question. How can I achieve that, of course? And what can I do more to enhance my reports? And this is also something which we'll try to do on our demo. So to prepare additional visualizations using the latest Power BI features. All right. So what will be discussed? As I said, the project of creating a new Power BI report is quite long. First of all, we need to build a data set, of course. We need to connect to the data source. We have to load the data. We need to transform the data, create dimensional tables like date table. We need to build data model, create relationships between our data sets. Then this is the first part we can discuss, like a preparation of the data set, right, with our backend. Then we go to our report and we prepare measures, calculations, we prepare filter panes, slicers, we prepare layouts, so the theme, the background, the name of the report, the title, and any other point like this. Then we visualize the data, so we create our visuals, we use the visuals predefined by Power BI team, and we create interactions. We create pages, bookmarks, some special views, and make sure that everything is working, interacted, and yes, that's the part which we are preparing the report itself, so the front end. And then we have then we need to publish the report. So we are managing the report. We publish the report, we manage gateways if we work on on-premise data sources. We share the report across users, we manage the permissions to the report, we schedule refreshes, make sure that the report is up to date. And then we have more and more things which we can do. For instance, we can connect our report to Dynamics Business Central, and this also will be shown on the demo presentation. And what will be discussed today? We would like to focus on this part because this part is crucial when it comes to the beautiful dashboards, right? If we want to make our dashboards beautiful, then we need to focus on these 3 points. So prepare layout, visualize the data, and create interactions. Okay, and what exactly does that mean? So basically, I'm pretty sure that if you are interested in Power BI Power BI tools, you've seen many reports like this, right? And I'm not saying that this report is not useful, right? Because if the data is correct, if the results here, the visualization you took are the way you want to see the data, I'm pretty okay with that. I've prepared reports like that before, and they're working till today, and everything it's fine from that perspective, right? But what Power BI really is, and what Power BI team is doing every month, preparing our additional conditional formatting options, theme options, images. You can upload images, different objects. It has really a lot of options to make this report look like this, right? and you see the difference. So basically you have the data in here, the way you would like to visualize, but the right side looks much better, right? And this is something you would like to address to your managers, to your users, to your partners, so they can see the report in that format. And here we can have an additional example. So this report is also it's also prepared in a specific way, but you need to make sure that all the parts of the report are scaled in the right format, right? So you don't have KPIs which are taking your half of your report, of your dashboard space. You need to make sure that you have enough data on every page, and that's exactly what we would like to achieve using our additional features. Right, so how can I achieve that? What exactly is changing the report from standard report to beautiful report? Let's say it this way. So first of all, select unconventional backgrounds. Background is giving you really a lot when it comes to your visual perspective of the report. It can be a wallpaper, or it can be a specific color, like you saw on the you've seen on the page before. So make sure you use the background properly. But of course, on the other hand, make sure it doesn't take your main role of your report, right? Still, the data is the most important, of course. Adapt your team to your report. This is very crucial from my perspective, because when we are creating reports for our users, for partners, we want to make sure that we follow the same team for different reports, right? For instance, for one company, you can create sales performance reports. You can create then logistic reports or warehouse reports. But you want to make sure that you are using the same team, because it saves your time a lot. You don't have to prepare every visualization from scratch, changing the colors of it, the fonts, the sizes, and so on. So your team is really important, because it always gives you same approach to reports you produce. And also it gives you additional visualization effects, which I will show you later. Use icons, images, shapes. Really, sometimes you may think that icons really doesn't do anything in the report. That's correct, but from the visual perspective, they are giving a lot. And that's my opinion, and I will show you some examples how we can use icons and make our report look better. And create interactions, button, tooltip pages. There are a lot of additional features like bookmarks, buttons, tooltips, which you can make some interactions and make the report look more interactive and nice to use. And so you can consume the report the way you want, not only to see the data, but also see the relations and make some further analysis. And that's something which we'll try to do next. So we have small icons here, and we have the theme which we can use. Some of them are predefined, but also we have new options like customize current theme, which is quite new feature, where you can define your own theme and save your theme as a layout for other reports. And what can I do then more to enhance my reports? What else can I do? We can prepare also additional advanced analytics features like play axis, where I can see the data flows during the year, so I can tell a story of my data. That's something which you can do even more. We can use EA visualization to interact with the data the way you want. For instance, the composition tree or key influencers. And when I added this point, I would like to mention that before in Power BI, for instance, the Q&A feature, which was developed a few years ago, it was a nice feature, but really nobody used that, right? And what I would like to address is that the new features which are developed, like the composition tree or key influencer visualization, we are using them, we implemented them, and users, the final key users, are really happy about them because they are giving them additional insights when it comes to the reporting part. And another thing which you can do when it comes to the Dynamics Business Central, you can embed your report to other systems. And in here on the right side, you have a small example of what you can do. So you can use your Dynamics 365 Business Central on a web browser or as an application, and you can embed your reports. So just by doing that, you have both tools, both systems in one way, right? In one place, right? So you have your transaction system and you have your reporting tool inside. So it's quite nice. It can be beneficial. You have one place where you have all your data and all your insights. And also what is important, of course, in the Dynamics Business Central, you have different profiles and you can adapt the reports to your profile. So you can define, for instance, that for one profile, for warehouse manager profile, you would like to see the logistic report on it. And for instance, for your sales department, you would like to see the sales performance report on it. So they can have the data inside your Business Central. Okay, and what solutions we provide as DDC? So we provide solutions for managers, directorial controllers, and I would like to focus on these reports on this presentation, where we can see our sales performance, KPIs, our sales trends. We can use our play axis feature, and also the decomposition tree, which I would like to show you next on my demo presentation. And this is the report which we'll be working on, right? And this is the report which will give you later after the session today, and so you can see yourself what Power BI is capable of. All right, so let me now go to my demo. And first of all, I would like to show you what exactly we have when it comes to the data source. So you can see on what data we are working in the Power BI. So we have connected our Power BI report to our Dynamics Business Central demo database. And we have used the following tables. So first of all, we have item ledger entries, which is our transactional table. And then we have dimension tables like items. So we are connecting our item ledger entries to our items. Our customer table based on the source number of the item ledger entries. And also our dimensions. For instance, we use the channel dimension to see additional split of our sales on that dimension. And of course, a calendar table to create time intelligent features and visualizations. So that's our data model. Then we also prepared key measures, and on that report we'll have sales amount last year and the difference at the percentage. We have cost amount, gross profit, total quantity, and volume. So we are focusing on sales of our items. So that's something which I will show you next. Now, when we go to the Power BI service, this is exactly the report I will show you. So let me make it full screen first. Right, and so what exactly we have here? So this report is named Executive Dashboard. It's working basically on the sales amounts of the item ledger entries. We decided to put only one filter here for the date because all the additional filters can be used in interactive mode. So I can, for instance, if I would like to see my details, my sales trend for Tesco, I can press on Tesco, and this way I can filter my report the same way I'm filtering it right now with the filter pane. We can use the different years. So, for instance, we are only focusing on last 4 years. In the main page, we have KPIs, the most important data we like to see in front. So the total sales, the total units sold, total cost, our gross profit, and our sales growth year to year, year over year. And this little KPI, this little card is also conditional formatted. If it's a plus, then it's in green. If, for instance, if we pick the last year, if it's in red, then if it's in minus, that's in red. So we make it interactive. Then we have our sales trend. So we can see what is our sales based on every month. And this little line is showing us where we have ups and downs. And also we are comparing it to the last year. So we have last year versus this year and the trend for this year versus last year. Yep. And then we can make it, of course, interactive. Then on the left side, we also have the channel. So we have 3 different channels. We have discounter, SM, and GS. And we can see the percentages of the sales for every channel. And we also have the how much units we are selling by segment. So we have the total quantity. This is like a matrix visualization, and then we use that a lot. So on one side, we have total quantities, and the other side, we have sales amount, and we can see the relation between the quantities and the amounts, and we see which segments are the best ones. And of course, if I press on any segment, I can filter all the other visualizations just for that particular segment. We have one more feature here, but before I go there, you can see we have also our top 10 resellers. And of course, this is just our, this of course can be changed, right? It can be top 5, it can be every resellers we have. So we can then scroll down our visualization to see all the resellers for our products. And as I mentioned before, also I can make it interactive, so I can filter all my visualization just up to this one Kaufland reseller, for instance. Right, so one more thing which we added here is you can see we have a small little icon right here, which is named Analyze Further. So this is my front page, right? So my manager can see all the features, all the KPIs in my front page. But if manager would like to see the additional features, we can add some small little buttons here on the main page. And these buttons can give us, can get us to additional visualizations. So for instance, if I press Analyze Further, I will see the same visualization which we've seen before, how much units we're selling by segment. But in here, we added some additional play axis functionality, which gives you a little bit of a data story of 2019. So if I press on this play axis button, I can see how my segments are changing during the year. Yeah, so I can see what exactly is happening during the year. If I would like to focus on one particular segment, for instance, this one, I can see the path, right? So I can see how it started and how it's going through the year. So in the middle of the year, it was my best segment, and then at the end, I have it's my third. So now if I press play axis again, you can see, I see all the history of that one particular segment. And what else? I can look exactly for every point here. I can see the results. And I could also export this as a table to my Excel sheet, but this will not be covered in today's session. But you can imagine that if you're like to use your parameters to run this report, then it's pretty easy to create that report. And it's basically no code feature. So you don't have to put any code, you don't have to use any language like Python or R to prepare such visualization. Right, now when I would like to go back, I have this go back button here, and I'm back to my front page. And now I would like to do a short demo of what we can do else when it comes to the Power BI features. Because as you can see, this report is predefined. It shows you the data the way the developer wanted you to see, right? After your analysis and the project of this report is completed. But let's say I would like to see my sales by using my different dimensions, not exactly these which are here. So what can I do? I can create additional features. I can use additional visualization, and one of it is decomposition tree. And that's something which I would like to show you how we can achieve that. So I'm going to move now from my Power BI service, from my report, to my Power BI desktop. So this is the application where I'm creating the reports. I'm showing you my data model here. And in here, I have my reports. So this is the first page which we have seen on the Power BI service. And in here, we have play axis. And this little small icon is saying that this report is not visible from final user perspective. You can only access play axis when you use these small analyze further function. All right, let's create another page and let's do it from scratch so you can see how easily we can prepare a nice looking report, giving us additional data and the way we would like to visualize the data here. So first of all, I'm going to create a new button here. So I'm going to go here to insert and go to buttons. And I would like to see it like a right arrow, the same as I had before for this analyze further function. And I will try to explain how we can do that ourselves. So when I select this little small icon, you can see that here on my visualization pane, I have several different options to work with, right? So I can make my button look a different way, like it's in the standard when you import it from the button features. So I have this small little icon, but also I would like to add outline. And right now the outline is the way I would like to make it more rounded. Or I can even use this little button to see what exactly I have achieved before. So it can be 20, so I can put 20 here. And now I would like to change the color of my outline. So the icon color can stay the same as it is right now. I can just make sure that it's in the middle of the object. And the color is fine. I can leave it at this way. I can make it a little bit bigger this way. But let's go back to my outline. I'm going to change the color to this one. So it is more related to my colors of my report. What else is very nice, if you prepared the button like this before, what you can do, you can copy, you can format Painter, right? Painter, sorry. So basically, as this is a Microsoft product, all the features you have in Excel, in Word, you can use as well here. So for instance, I can make sure it's the same format as my previous button. Okay, I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller like this. Right, and what else I can do with my button? Let me just quickly do it this way. So I can make an actions with my button. So it's not only a visual, I can make some actions using it. So for instance, I can select that this button is, when I press on this button, it's giving me some action. And for instance, I would like to go to a different, you have several different options, of course. We can open a web URL, we can open Q&A visualization, we can drill through, we can create bookmarks or go back, or the most important one, I would say, is the page navigation. And right now I'm going to create a new page. I have it right here. So it's an empty page here. So I want to make sure that this button is navigating me to that page 1. Okay. I'm going to change this page name to the composition tree. Okay. When I press on this again, it's automatically changed, right? So now we can check that if it's working. So when I'm on the Power BI desktop, I need to press Control and click on that button. And as you can see, it's navigating me to this decomposition tree page. Okay. So, so when I'm preparing a new page, of course, in most cases, I'm duplicating the page and creating my own visuals on that page and deleting the visuals which I don't need anymore. But just for this demo presentation, I'm going to create it from scratch. So I have my new report, and let's say I would like to start preparing the report. Of course, my data sets, it's already ready. We have all my key measures which I would like to use. So what do I do next? First of all, we need to make sure that my page, so if I do not select any visual and go here to my visual format pane, I can make sure that everything here is correct. This is not a tooltip page, so I'm not gonna select this one. This is not my Q&A page as well. The name is fine. The page size, you can make it different. For instance, you can make it as a letter, so then you have it in a different compact. But the most important one, the most used one is this one. So I'm gonna leave this as well. And then we have page background, and we have two different options. We can, as I said before, we can put a color on it. For instance, this is a very useful one, and make it not transparent anymore. So that's the first point which you can do. But the way I would like to do it, I'm gonna use wallpaper instead of background. And in here, you can see we have this add image function. And I have already prepared one background here. And you see the first result is here. So my background is looking very nice. Yeah. By the way, we have mountains which are growing. So as our cells is growing. Yeah. Then the second thing I would like to do, I would like to prepare the title of my report. Usually I see that the titles are being created here on this left page. So to create a title, I'm using text box. And I'm gonna change first, before I start typing my title, I'm gonna change the font to 24. This can be Tacoma. And the color I would like to be green, the same as it was on my previous page. And this is something which you can see I'm changing for my new text box. And you can make this working every time you create a new text box or title or your visualization. And to achieve that, you need to make sure that you are using a theme. A theme is giving you predefined colors, predefined fonts, and the background as well. And we have the theme gallery, and some of the themes are really nice. For instance, this one is working very nice, or in one color, just do different colors in one color. And what also you can do, you have a special theme gallery which you can use, which is where basically community is creating a lot of very nice looking themes, or you can customize your current theme. So if you select this customize current theme, as you can see, I created here some of my colors, some of my previous main colors, then following colors. So make sure that you always create your theme before you start working on your report. And we have also the sentiment colors. So for instance, for conditional formatting or for divergent colors. This is like an advanced feature here. And some advanced features also for visualization, for instance, for x-axis, for specific different elements of every visual. You can also make sure that you always use a correct font family, font size. So this, by updating this, these positions, I will then don't need to update my particular visualization here, right? I will have it structured before I start doing the report. The same with visuals. So I can have a background with transparency and the color, and you will see when I import a new visualization, it will have these features already there. We can have borders, headers, or tooltips, colors. So pretty much most of them are predefined well, so you don't have to change really tooltips. You don't like to do this border on, because it also creates a border on your slicers, which doesn't look very nice. So then if you do not switch this on, you can only switch borders for your particular visualization. And also some page options, right? And I can, for instance, make a color of my background in the theme I'm preparing. So once the theme is created, you can save your current theme, you can name your theme, and let's say DDC1 as a JSON file. And then when you are creating a new report, you're creating your new Power BI file, you just import the theme and you don't have to worry about all the formats you need to do for every visualization. So very nice feature, and it's really useful when you create reports. And you can have several different themes, right? Your theme gallery, personal theme gallery, or organization theme gallery. Right. So let's go back to the reports. I'm going to name my report. Position 3. I just want to make sure that this is structured. It takes a little bit less space. You can even make it bolded. So I have my report name, and also which is changing the ordinary report to a very nice looking report are icons, and that's something which I strongly recommend as well. So so when I'm on my report, I can on the insert tab, I have images here. So I can select images and I can create my own, I can save, update my own icons. So for instance, I'm gonna select this one. I'm gonna change it in 1 minute. Before I do that, I strongly recommend to create your own icon gallery, because sometimes I'm wondering what else I can do with my reports, what examples I can provide. So I have my examples here, and also I have icons here, a lot of icons, which looks very nice, and which you can use adapting to your reports, right? So with some specific color, more or less, let's say, a professional, like this. Yeah, so this is a little bit more for warehouse reports. So I really enjoyed looking for new items, and I think that they're really giving us additional benefits when it comes to the way report looks like. Okay, so I'm gonna put the report name here. I'm gonna make this icon a little bit smaller and put it next to my title. So I can have it in the middle of the title, or I can make it a little bit smaller, like this. And then, for instance, if I'm for instance comparing it with my previous report, I can see that this can be a bit on the right side, and I don't have to every time. I don't have to move all these objects one by one. I can select both objects like this, so my title and my text box. I can right-click on it and I can group it to one visualization, right? So So now when I'm changing the place where the title is, I can do it in one go. So I have my title, and now I'm going to create my my slicer, and I'm going to use a date slicer as well, as on the previous page. So first of all, from my visualization box where I have all my predefined visualization and also advanced visualization, if I want to, I can import them from community page. In here we have Power BI visuals, we have app sources, and on my organizations I can add my predefined additional visualization to my organization. And in here, I strongly recommend to use Power BI Certified, where you have all additional visuals created by the community. And yeah, sometimes I'm using them as well. But let's focus to the standard ones. So I'm selecting slicer, and I would like to slicer using my my year slicer. So I can drag and drop and put it here to my field. And by default, I'm getting the following slicer, but I would like to make it a bit different. So in here, you have different options for changing your slicer visual. And I would like to have it as a list. And then in here, when my slicer is selected, I can go to format and change it to horizontal. Do it this way. I don't really need the header because it's explained by itself. What else I could do? When I'm selecting the slicer here, I can go to filters. And for instance, because I'm using not really a dynamic calendar table, I just use from 2 years. And that's because to keep it simple, so I'm going to just select the years I would like to use for that report. And by selecting hide filter, user will not be able to change that predefined filter. All right, so let's make it a bit smaller here. I will also change the color of the items. To this one. Nope, no font color, background color. Let's make it this way. And not only the slicer itself, also it looks, for my opinion, it looks better to not to add the title to a slicer, but to add additional text box like this. Put it next to the slicer pane and name it select a date. And perhaps we can make it a little bigger and use Tacoma again to our text box. And what else I would like to add to this text box, the same as I've done for, let me just, okay. The same as I've done it for my title. I'm gonna add icon, a small little icon for it. So where should I add these icons, right? Definitely for the title, for my slicers, and for my Power BI titles for my visualization titles. That's the third part where I'm usually adding my images. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly go to my to my webinar examples. Okay. And of course, for my opinion, it looks much better with a little small icon at the end of the name of the slicer. And of course, I could do more with it, and the final result you can have here, right? So this is exactly what we could achieve, and also adding here a slicer for a particular month, not only year. If I would like to see the results by particular month. Right. So I have my title. I have my slicer. And now I would like to use the new features, the new visualization which Power BI gives you. And in here, in the insert box, of course, we have it in here as well on the standard visualization. But in here, we have AI visuals, and these are really new visuals. Let's say they were developed this year. And as I said before, they are really working. I mean, for instance, the composition tree or K influencers can sometimes give you insights which you will not even think about it. So I strongly recommend to at least try to implement to your partners. So I'm going to select the composition tree here. I'm going to make it a bit bigger. So I have a whole picture of that visualization like this. And now I can start preparing the composition tree. So first of all, what I would like to analyze. So I have my key measures here, which you've seen before. So we have sales amount last year. And I would like to analyze sales amount. So I'm going to put analyze sales amount here. And you can see this is my sales amount on my front page here. And what else I will do, I will change the colors a bit. So let me make sure that the colors are more visible. So I can make the positive bar, because I will only use positive. I'm working my sales. So this will be my green color. Then my data category can be this. And my data labels, we can make it white. Right, so I have my sales here. And as you can see, it's giving us the results. If I filter now for 2019, it's giving us the same result as here, right? So that's my total sales for that year. So if I have the same value here and there, what exactly the composition tree is giving me? So what I can do here, I can explain my value. I can explain my sales amount by different dimensions. And that's exactly what I would like to see, create. So first of all, I would like to make sure that I would like to add here my channel code. And I can double click on it and change the name to channel. So I'm then sure that I'm using, it's not just code, it's my channel, depending on the data you have. I can go to my customers, and in here I can take my reseller group. I also would like to analyze my data based on my items. So for instance, I'm going to put the segment of my item, and also I can put a particular number of my item. So I can then at the end analyze my data to a particular item, right? So I can exactly know what is hidden by that value. And that's it, right? And that's basically it. The composition tree is ready to use. So how now we can use that report? So as I said, in here in executive dashboard page, we have predefined values and additional visualization. And in here, I can analyze my data the way I want. So first of all, when I press on this plus button here, I can, for instance, split my sales amount by channel. So I can see exactly what is my best channel, what is my worst channel, and then I can make the drill down a bit further, and I can limit it to my reseller groups, right? So I have my Sainsbury, I have my Tesco, Morrisons, Aldi, and so on. Now, for instance, I'm focusing on Tesco, so I can select Tesco here, and I would like to see my segments in Tesco. So this is my best segment, which is it's coffee, basically. I think it's coffee. And now I would like to know what exactly I'm selling. So which my particular items are the best ones. So I can go to number. And in here, you see I have the number of my items. Of course, you can put the descriptions here. You can put any additional information. I just have the number of my item here. And now, if, for instance, that's my tree. I can make this tree always visible this way. I can allow users to change the values. So for instance, I could delete these groups and start from segment the way I want to analyze. That's the reason why it's being done this way. And what is really nice, I can then press on any value on any part. So I can start with my channel, and you can see I'm then analyzing it further. I can select any segment from that my reseller group. So basically this report is working very nice, and the way you want to composite your data, the way you want to analyze it, you got it using the decomposition tree. And it looks nice on the report, and it's basically using the same theme. You can prepare additional advanced analytical solution inside one report. And the last thing which I would like to add here is the additional button. So at the end, I need to put one more button here. So I'm going to use back button. I'm going to put it here, a little bit bigger. I can change the color to the same as the previous ones. And this button also is giving me some action. So when I select the button and go to action, and by default, it's going back to the previous page I selected. So once again, when I'm on the executive dashboard report, I'm selecting the button here. And when I press it again, it's going back to my report. So I can make my decomposition tree as a hidden page for the final user. Of course, I could add here some additional icons like the same KPIs. I can left click on it and copy the visualization. This is also a very nice feature. You can copy visualization over one report or different reports. And I'm gonna paste them here. Yeah, so I can then, as I said before, my page is fully covered, and by giving this additional cards here, I don't have any empty space to use, and that's giving me the result. The report looks better. So we need to keep focus on that as well. Right. So so now I can publish the report and save the report. I'm going to publish it on my my main desktop, my workspace. It's giving me information that will be replaced. Of course, that's fine. It should work very quick. Usually I don't have any issues with publishing the reports. So let's wait a bit. All right, success, got it. So I can go back now to my Power BI service. And in here, in my Power BI service, I can refresh my page. Simply like that. And as you can see here, right, I got this little icon here, so I can press on it. Let me just view it in full screen. Let's use this. And my decomposition tree is here, so I can start using it. And one thing I forgot to mention, not only I can use my, all right, this was blocked. Not only I can use my particular dimension, I can also use the AI functionality. So for instance, if I would like to see on my discounter or my GS, which is giving me the lowest value or the highest value, I can work it this way. So my EI features inside Power BI, as you can see, no code. I can see what is giving me the lowest results in a particular channel group for my resellers. So I can then focus on my best resellers, or I can, can make decisions based on that visualization. So that's how we can simply 30 minutes and we can create additional benefit to our report. And at the end, what else we can do? Because as you know, as a Dynamics Development Center, we are providing, we are implementing Power BI and Business Central, Dynamics Business Central solutions. And given the fact that both solutions are Microsoft solutions, it's very nice. It's working very nice when it comes to integrating both solutions in one system. So, for instance, here I have. Okay, I'm going to change my demo version. Just my user to my company, which I'm using. Right, so I have my Power BI Business Central solution here. And as you can see, in the same page on the main screen, I also have my reports, my Power BI reports. So I'm just using one place. I'm going to just quickly change the report I will be using to the one which was published. Right, so as I said before, when I have my profile, which is business manager right now, I can have my report ready inside my Business Central, Dynamics Business Central solution. And I can have more reports, right? So for instance, if I'm a logistic manager or warehouse manager, I can have my stock report right here, my logistic report right here, so I can quickly check where my my trucks are, where all my sales is being taken when it comes, for instance, to the Belgium map. On the other hand, I can have sales reports for my key users. And in here, I can just press simply on the report, because you can think that, okay, I can press on the values here, but it's not really, not enough space to analyze the data. That's not a problem. You can press here and you can expand the report. Right, and basically I have all the features I have in Power BI. So, so I can use my report the same way as in Power BI. So it's much better. And even if you're using your phones or your other devices, you have this possibility right inside Dynamics 365 Business Central. And that's not only the reports on the main page. You also have reports which you can use, for instance, or on our particular tables. For the most used ones are customer tables, vendor tables, or item tables. So then when you drill down, when you select any particular customer, your Power BI report can be automatically filtered to that only one record. So that's additional benefit, but this will not be covered on this session. Okay, so that's exactly what I would like. That will be what I have prepared for you today. Thank you again for joining the webinar, and let us know in comments below if you have any questions. And Rafał, I think.
Thank you. Thank you, Łukasz. Thank you so much. So yeah, thank you for the questions already posted. We have a couple of them in the Q&A section and also on the chat. I will now spend a minute or two to present to you our company, and that will give Łukasz the time to review the questions and also to answer some or all of them now. Sorry for making the presentation longer than expected, but I hope that it was still interesting and relevant. And looking at the number of people who joined at the beginning and stayed until now, I think it was still interesting and relevant. So just a couple of words about the Dynamics Development Center. So we are a gold partner around ERP implementations. We specialize in Business Central, in Dynamics NAV, but also in Power BI and Continuous Document Capture. These are the add-ons or solutions that we also build our capabilities around. We are known for being a truly international partner. We are present in most European countries and also in the US and Canada. So whenever a company is thinking about a sort of pan-European implementation that covers several countries, we are certainly capable to deliver that, and we are very strong references around it. And our third really strong point is our senior team. So out of 27 employees, which is like a middle-sized Dynamics team in Poland, but out of 27 employees, we pride in employing 9 experts, so people with at least 10 years of experience around whom project teams and help desk teams, maintenance teams are built. So yeah, certainly we have good seniority in our team, which really helps us with complex projects. So regarding the offering, you can look for cooperation with us, whether you have a Dynamics project on your plate, or you're interested in help desk services, training, or outsourcing, because we also support the end customers and other partners who simply need some staff augmentation services. So we would make our developer or consultant available for a couple of weeks or months to work with the customer or partner and to deliver a specific module or functionality together with them. Yeah, so that would be it when it comes to a short introduction. Over to you, Łukasz. Yeah, that will be now the Q&A session.
Right, so we still have time for Q&A sessions, or we would like to answer, because right now we have 7 questions. Of course, thank you for the question you ask. Really appreciate them.
Yeah, I think we can just now select a couple of them, and please remember that the full Q&A, so all the questions and answers, as well as the recording, as well as the slides, will be sent to you just after today's webinar, probably tomorrow, maximum on Friday. So I think, Łukasz, you can just select a couple of questions and answer them now, and the rest can be answered within the document that we'll be preparing.
All right. So I'll try to select the quickest ones or the easiest ones for now. So maybe the first question which was asked is, what's better, creating multiple report pages on one report page and switching between them using bookmarks, or creating separate report pages with visualizations and switching between them using bookmarks or page navigations? And that's something which we were discussing over last months. So basically both are okay. But from our perspective, what is better? Well, the answer is it depends. Sometimes if, for instance, when we have one page, let's say one page, and we have not enough, let's say, details to display, and we would like to just change one visualization based on our filters. For instance, if we have different last time we had scenarios when we had sales invoices, we have shipments, quotes, and yeah, the whole process of starting from quote to posted invoice. And we wanted to see what are the key influencers when it comes to the time it takes to cover it from quote to shipment, from shipment to invoice, from order to shipment, from shipment to invoice. And we decided to use bookmarks there because we wanted to use key influencer visual several times. And we just make sure we just prepare it that way that we are using just one page. We have 5 different buttons on that page. And based on the button we select, just the key influencer visual is changing, right? So that's just for a particular reason, for a particular request, we are just changing that one visual on that page. But to be honest, from developer point of view, creating different pages and creating a bookmark, creating different pages and using the buttons to navigate through these pages is much more easier to prepare, because using the bookmarks, and of course you probably are familiar with the bookmarks and selections tab. It's from my opinion, it's time consuming, and sometimes it takes some time to change all the names and make sure that they are visible on a particular bookmark. On the other hand, I'm using bookmarks on the Power BI service. For instance, if I go here to Power BI service, let's say I have more filters. For instance, I have salesperson filter here, and I have 5 different salesperson users, and I just want to use the same report for every user, and I want to make sure that the particular user is just seeing his or she's details. Then I would select a particular filter for that salesperson, and I will create a bookmark there, a personal bookmark or predefined bookmark just for that one person. So the answer is it depends. I will try to give you a bit more details when we'll be preparing answers for all questions, and some scenarios where you can use bookmarks and when you switch between pages. Right. So we have 2 questions about different entities and how we can create a consolidated report for several companies in one database. And basically, this is a really nice question, but it's not about the visualization itself. It's more about the data preparation, so the data source you are creating. So for instance, the way we can do it, because the way I'm connecting to my Dynamics Business Central in this demo, I'm using web services, and I'm just sharing, I'm publishing the queries objects from my web services functionality. For consolidated reports, I would say I would probably use SQL database and prepare some some additional views where I'm taking all the companies to one database. So creating consolidated reports in Power BI is possible, but it takes more time and it's a bit more complicated. because we need to make sure that we are taking the data, the tables from different tables from different companies and merging them in one company. Or on the other hand, if you are using also consolidation functionality in Dynamics Business Central, you can use that company to create your reports in Power BI, right? So a bit more, I think, we'll also add when we will be discussing, when we'll be answering your questions through emails. And how to add maybe last question, how to add more than one report to Business Central as in your example. So first of all, when it comes to the generally to the role centers, as you can see here, you can create more than one role center object inside your role center page object. So you can, for instance, add more than one place for Power BI reports. But we spotted that sometimes it can need to, you have to prepare some fixes, because if we, for instance, right now, when I'm connected to my Power BI service, I have all my reports here, which I'm using. And for instance, if I would like to change the report to, let's say, to my logistic overview, yeah, I can have this report as well here. I can use this report, but the issue is that I cannot really expand the report. And that's something which we have already addressed that for Business Central, and we are trying to work on that report, because if I expand this report right now, I can use that report, I can go back and go here and expand the second report, I'm getting the following issue. And this is something which we are working on at the moment. And fixes has to be applied to the standard functionality. And I believe we will cover that in emails as well. Right. So, so Rafał, I think for now.
Thank you, Łukasz. I think I'll take one more by Cameron, because this one is also quite straightforward. If you have hosted NAV and not cloud NAV, is this usable still, or is it restricted to cloud, as need to be able to publish? So in fact, what Łukasz was showing now was hosted Business Central environment with Power BI embedded into that. So it was shown through a web client, but it was a hosted environment, so it can work with a hosted environment as well. So yeah, that would be it, I think, when it comes to Q&A. Thanks for your participation. Thanks for your question. For the end, we have one more announcement to make. So the dashboard that Łukasz was showing today, one of the dashboards, is actually free for you to test. What you need to do is just to contact us either through this general email, contact@dynamicsdc.com, or just find us on LinkedIn and connect with us, and we'll tell you what to do in order to test this dashboard. So yeah, for the participants of this webinar, we have this this small treat. If you would like to play with it, see how the data is flowing, have a look at those new features that Łukasz explained, like the composition tree. Yeah, you are free to do that. So we'll be waiting to hear back from you and sending back the material, as I explained, recording the slides and the Q&A tomorrow or Friday the latest. Thanks for today. Have a good rest of the day. Thank you, Łukasz. Thank you, Jacob, for co-hosting.
And thank you for questions.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.